Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Hooks and Hammers, building gear and breaking limits. Today I'm excited to bring to you episode 1. We're going to be going over the NRS Pike inflatable kayak build. Stay tuned. All right, so as I said, today's focus is my current build, the NRS Pike inflatable kayak. Had it for about 2 years, and what we're currently working on with this build is motorizing it, similar to what you would see with a Torqeedo if you were all familiar. All right, so just taking a look at what we're doing. Obviously the business end is in the back, so we'll kind of start in the back and move forward. The first thing I did with the NRS Pike is I built this transom. I did it 2 ways. Sorry, I should have had my stuff gathered better. So I used switch pad flexible mounts, all right, because it is an inflatable kayak. It's not like I can drill into it, so it's got these threaded bolts in it. Really nice equipment. And one tip for those of you who are new to this stuff, especially inflatables, there's a special set of hardware in here that is shorter than the hardware for a hard shell kayak. You must use the short hardware. If you don't, you'll pop your kayak. All right, so what I did with those switch pads, hopefully you can see, is I made a triangle. So I kind of mapped this out. Took me some time. I used double-sided tape at first. I taped them down till I thought, all right, I'm pretty happy with that. I think I can build a transom. Once I was happy with it, I took this HH66 vinyl cement. Shout out Jeff Little for all of this stuff, or I wouldn't know exactly what I was doing, but he's really the only one that I can find doing anything like this out there, and I really thought it was cool and wanted to kind of beat out the Torqeedo with $100 Minn Kota from Marketplace. So what I did then was I went to Home Depot. I bought one piece of angle iron, and then one flat plate. I honestly don't remember the thicknesses and everything, but I'm not kidding you. Like, anything you get is gonna, unless you can twist it with your hands, you don't want that. But if it's strong enough that you can't bend it or do anything like that, then you're good to go. I went a little heavy duty just because that's typically how I go. And then I bought these little angle brackets that I was able to drill holes and bolt down to the transom, which allowed me, then I just took a piece of pressure treated 2x4. I cut that in like a 5.5 piece there, as you can see, and that became my transom. And then just to make it look kind of nice, I went and spray painted it with marine grade spray paint. So that's the transom, and that's what gives me the ability to install the trolling motor. Obviously, sorry, my bad. And as you can see then with the motor, first things first, we'll get to steering in a second. But the first thing I did was I removed the power head. So we'll go up front. Here is typically what you would see on a transom mount trolling motor from Minn Kota. This one happens to be 40, pretty awesome. I do have a 70 over here that I might try out, and there's a 55 right there. So I got a variety. I really want the 55. I think that's the perfect weight to power ratio. I still think the 40 is going to do its job. The 70 is going to be ridiculous. We'll use that on another build with your input on what we should do with it. But anyways, back to what we're talking about here, which is the kayak build. Essentially, here's the hardware. It's going to allow you to remove the lid like that, and remove the long bolt in there will allow you to remove the motor head from the shaft. When you get in here, you see all these metal tabs or terminals. I don't know if that's the accurate name for those, but essentially you're going to have the red and black that you're probably comfortable with, something like this, in there, and you'll pull those two off. And then there was a black and a yellow, and you pull those two off. The black and the yellow, all I did, so to go back here, they are what, the black and the yellow are what control this speed controller, right? You turn the knob 1 through 5 forward, 1 through 3 reverse. That's what the black and the yellow is puts juice to. The red and the black are what juice the motor. So all we needed was the red and black. So I taped off the black and the yellow, and I just simply, I didn't want to cut it off. So I left it up in here. All this top pieces was 2 different PVC 90s that I put together. This one was exactly the same size as the shaft, so I took my heat gun, I heated it up till it was soft enough that I could form it over the shaft. Again, then I ran the red and black wire. I did have to add an extension to get all the way up to the new speed controller, which I will show you guys in a second, which deleted the black and the yellow wire that is still up in there. All right. So we have a new way to control speed. All right. So that's the majority of how this beast that only rides 2 inches in the water is going to be powered. The next thing that I have to tackle with the whole build is the steering, because obviously I need this motor to turn this way or to turn that way when I need to turn. I've gotten that started, so I'll explain that briefly, I guess, and then I'll go back to some of the other tidbits about the boat. So anyways, here's my steering bracket. You can find this on Amazon. I bought these because they were pretty heavy duty and I just liked them better than like a carabiner. But I got home and unfortunately the overall gauge fits, but this threaded piece has a bevel there, I'll call it. And it caused me to have to drill, so I didn't feel like going back to Home Depot, so I just drilled it. You could have went back and probably gotten something smaller, but anyways, the switch pads that I have currently, let me put this back. So I bought 2 switch pads with hardware that I'm going to glue somewhere on the rails, and then 2 tie down eyelets. They're 2-pack, so I got 4 of them. So I probably need 2 more switch pads, unless, I can have, these are going to be pretty much even with my pedal though. So we'll see. I have a set of switch pads here and here. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm going to do, exactly how I'm going to mock it up. And then I also have this paracord. All right. And a combination of these and my foot pedals are what's going to steer the boat. So essentially, I could explain to you that the paracord is going to get tied off onto each one of these carabiners. Future video, stay tuned for it. And then we'll cross them immediately, and they will somewhere along the rails of the kayak be mounted, and those switch pads will be mounted in eyelets, so that I can feed the paracord up through all along here. And again, future video, I have to figure out what I'm going to do with foot pedals, but essentially my feet, then I'm going to be able to push my right leg forward and steer the boat the way it's supposed to steer. That's why we're crossing it in the back, if that makes sense. So anyways, the only other thing I didn't review is just the battery and battery box. We got this Newport battery box. It's pretty cool. It has a 10 amp boat accessory breaker and a 60 amp trolling motor breaker. So that's kind of nice because a surge protected basically. And then I just simply wired that up to my power box. All right, so this is the only thing that I really didn't cover yet. This is not hooked up yet, but this is the new speed controller. Let's put it here. It's going to have, here's my speed dial that will replace the 1 through 5 speed setting for forward and the 1 through 3 speed setting for reverse. And then here is a 3-prong switch. So one is forward, 0 is off, and 2 is reverse. So it's pretty cool. I'm going to do another video. So there's 2 videos coming to be on the lookout for as I close this video. Me hooking this box up and redoing this lid correctly. So we'll get that all squared away and do a test video of the motor working. And then secondly, the steering will come after that. And once that is done, this build is ready to hit the mighty Susquehanna River and show us what it's capable of. And hopefully we can do some speed testing, give you guys some numbers. I will put everything that I've put into this build into a video description so that you guys can see how I've actually created, I wouldn't say one of the cheapest on the market, because the NRS, excuse me, is very high quality, double switched stitching. It's next level compared to most inflatables that you're gonna see out there. That's why they go for the better part of $800 to $1,000 nowadays. When I bought it, it was $1,400. So they've actually come down quite a bit. But yeah, I'm gonna show you though that besides the NRS, it's your choice what kayak inflatable you get. But at the end of the day, what I'm doing is showing you how to build a motorized inflatable kayak for under $1,000, or definitely under $2,000 for the whole rig, when one Torqeedo trolling motor setup, the one that you should want, the 1110 or whatever AC, that one goes from $2,800. So I have less than that in this whole setup. So I'm excited to continue to share this stuff with you guys. Like, subscribe, and come back and see us for the next video. Again, stay tuned for PWM box, speed controller, steering, test run. Let's go. Hooks and hammers, building gear, and breaking limits.